I wanted to just record a quick video about a thought I had regarding how we're all imposters in some way. And I've had some conversations recently with business owners, with guys in VC, um, and with a range of roles, right down to even with my sister who's just starting out in her career. And I've been seeing this theme of imposter syndrome again and again and again and again. And don't get me wrong, I've struggled with it for absolutely years, 15 years at least. And one of the thoughts that has helped me most, um, and which I'm trying to keep offering out to people because I think it can help, is that we look up to people around us who aren't us, and we look up to people who seem to have things figured out as like heroes. And in reality, every one of those heroes once started knowing absolutely nothing. And you could know this for sure because when they were born, when they were kids, when they were toddlers, they had no idea. They couldn't even speak. They were just goo goo gaga. And they couldn't even take care of themselves. They were completely unable to do anything. And I find that thought, it's a bit like a visualization exercise, where if I imagine someone who, massively has inspired me in my life, I'm thinking someone like a Steve Jobs, or maybe Elon Musk, or I don't know, Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that. And I think about them as a baby, completely unable to take care of himself, zero idea about any of this stuff. And then I imagine them as a young, like teenager or something, sort of before they had this identity which they became, which we now like worship and call like a hero's identity, and they have this mythical stature because of the companies they built or the legacy they've left behind. But there was a point at which they had no idea, and in the same way, every time I start a new skill, every time I move to a new country or something like that, I have no idea. And none of us have any idea, really. But we compare ourselves to people who have everything figured out. And I think that's a really destructive comparison. And, everyone says comparison is the thief of joy. But if we start to imagine and compare ourselves to someone who has nothing figured out, who is completely incapable, because there are people like that, they're called babies. If we make that comparison, we can say, hang on, let me give myself some credit here. Let me give myself some credit for trying, for actually thinking I can do this. How audacious of me to think I can do this. And let's just keep taking it step by step. There was a point in my life where I couldn't walk. I was a baby. I couldn't talk. And there's this idea of like how there's this story I hear about how babies, when they're learning to walk, they don't fall over once and think, oh no, I give up on walking. No, just keep trying and trying again. And there isn't the self-consciousness. We learn this self-consciousness somewhere along the line, which stops us from continuing to grow, from continuing to take risks. And we become too aware of what everyone else is going to think about me. What's everyone on LinkedIn going to think about me when I stumble on my words right now? Just a thought for you. Hope that helps. Let me know in the comments. And let me know what you're trying to do, which is a stretch for you. Right now, a stretch for me, I'm trying to get into public speaking. I'm trying to build communities for men. And trying to learn a new language. I'm trying to learn Polish, which is really hard. But with that, I'm out. Have a great weekend.